I'm Heidi Imker, and there's really quite a contingent of us here from the University Library. Kyle is going to talk in a few minutes, so I'll go as fast as possible so I don't, take all his time up. But also Tom Hibbing, Bill Ingram, and Bill Pooler here as well. So I'm actually the new director of the Research Data Service. I have to stay here? Oh, then I feel so short. So I'm the new director of the Research Data Service, and this is a program that has just been initiated on campus, and it's really a partnership between multiple campus units. And I just want to say it's at the University Library, even though it's research data, and a lot of times this isn't readily apparent to people, but that's because libraries and librarians are experts at describing and cataloging collections, right? And they're also experts at preservation, and these are skills that in general researchers are not very good at. So that's why it's really at the University Library there. So what we're going to be doing as far as a research data service is going to be across the whole spectrum of research on campus. So anywhere from arts to humanities, through social sciences, through all of the more prototypical hard sciences. So we're basically anything that BrownDog can do, we're probably going to be able to use. So from working with individual researchers on data sets or projects that they have, to really looking at the campus as a whole and developing a data repository. So specifically some things when I thought about this, for BrownDog and DAP and DTS is looking at some kind of general things that to encourage, because I know there's a lot of different things that you could go towards. So some of these are kind of repeated from things that were yesterday, so I just want to emphasize them again. Encouraging options to favor specific routes if you're hopping between file types, because you will lose different things. Also, ultimately, if you're thinking about this, about putting it out into the general public, using routing wizards to maximize the amount of or content that you do want to be, retention of the most valuable elements in your content. And then again, I think you're always going to get these questions about general analytics and cautions for the quality of the transformations. Finally, for the tilling, we're very interested in this. The Prairie Research Institute, I think you guys go through this all the time, where, there's slews of data all over the place. There's literally no metadata. So I really like that concept that was used yesterday about shaking the data to try and get some kind of information out of that. So and I think a lot of these are techniques that are already available, so it's really integrating these into BrownDog's via these extractor services. Also, I think it's a good, one of the things is generating user-created shapes for comparison, not just a file-to-file comparison, but to specifically be looking for certain shapes. I can see how that would be useful in your kidney transplant work, even in geological formations, leaf shape. That can really transform across a lot of different disciplines. And then again, still this issue of general analytics and cautions. So, okay.
Sure. Thanks. So just to emphasize kind of what Heidi said about how the nature of libraries is changing quite a bit. So whereas in the past we could really count on having highly structured data or collections typified by the book or digitized books, the kind of darkened hexes that I've put up there represent the kind of things that we're starting to work on now that has less structure. So dealing with archives of content harvested from the web, collections of digital humanities, many of the things that you're talking about here, research data, or the electronic records of organizations. And we're not only dealing with new data either, kind of going back to the Prairie Research example, we're dealing with old data, old formats, floppy disks, and we are relying on things like digital forensics technology to work through it. So, so if we see ourselves as managing a repository of information within the library, we're getting stuff from many places. So digitized books, digitized newspapers, research data, publications and electronic theses given to us by our campus. And it's up to us to kind of figure out what we're going to do with it in our own repository environment, and then get it out into other systems that researchers use to actually work with the content in a scholarly environment, or to just provide access to it to students. And pretty much to go from here to here and from here to here, it always involves, very often involves things that the data access proxy and the data tilling service do. So we're constantly converting from one format to another. We're frequently getting large volumes of stuff that we need to kind of sift through or till through, figure out what's there. And we want to allow scholars to be able to do those sorts of things too with the content that we make available to them. So that's how these services, I think, will end up being useful for us. Thank you.